Hello, watchers of News Channel 8. This is Jeffrey Jones, investigative reporter, and I have breaking news right outside the Capulet tomb. It appears that two bodies have been found. The deceased are believed to be the son and the daughter of the Capulet and the Montague family, two warring families here in Italy. So the question arises, did Romeo kill Juliet? Did Juliet poison Romeo? Was someone else involved? That is exactly what we're going to find out. I've set up interviews with people involved, and we will get to the bottom of this. Hello, people of Italy. I'm back, and with me is Friar Lawrence, who claims to know all about this incident. Friar. I first met them when Juliet Capulet's nurse came to me and tried to arrange a secret wedding between Juliet and Romeo Montague. From what I knew, Romeo was a son of the Montague family, and the Montagues and the Capulets had a feud going on, and neither parent consented to the marriage or knew about the love affair, and so that is why it had to be done in secret. I agreed to marry them silently at my parish. I heard nothing more from the two until Juliet came to me quite later, distraught and extremely just agitated. She said that Romeo had been banished from the country because her mother found him in bed with her, and her father insisted on her marrying another man. So she came desperate for help, trying to get back to her love and husband, Romeo. So her and I concocted a plan that involved her taking a poison that would kill her for about 2 days, and then she would get buried in the Capulet tomb, where I would meet her 2 days later with Romeo, and she would wake up from her trance, and her and Romeo could flee the country and live their happy lives together. But now that I think about it, I never got the chance to actually tell Romeo about the plan. Oh my. That certainly sheds some light on this tragic incident. Friar, tell me, why did you choose to get involved even though you knew that this marriage had no consent from either participant's family? Well, Jeffrey, as a friar, I believe it is my duty to help whoever asks of it, and to the utmost of my extent, and there was no means that I could deny the absolute love that the two had for each other. Well, thank you for meeting with me, Friar. And I plan to meet with everyone that I can to get to the bottom of this case. So is there anyone else that you could point me in that would know a little more than you, or know from a different point of perspective? I would definitely talk to Juliet's nurse. Alright, I will definitely try and contact her. Thank you for watching this series of events unfold. Now, I will be back broadcasting my interview with the nurse. And until then, this is Jeffrey Jones. Thank you for watching. Welcome, watchers of News Channel 8. I am back today with Juliet's nurse, who claims to know a different side of the story. Ma'am? Go.
It all began when Romeo came in disguise to the masquerade dance. He then met Juliet, and I convinced her to dance with him. Then, after they danced and kissed, I pulled each of them aside separately and told them that they were parts of rival families. Romeo the Montagues and Juliet the Capulets. However, me telling Romeo this did not change his mind. He still went to Juliet's window and proposed to her that evening.
Sounds like the workings of a memorable tragedy, ma'am. Thank you for coming in. Is there anything more that you can add or say?
Soon after Romeo's and Juliet's marriage, Juliet's cousin Tybalt and Romeo get into an altercation. Romeo kills Tybalt, and Juliet is very saddened by this. Although her love for Romeo is not tested, she still deeply loves him after this altercation. Later on, whenever I found Juliet, she was dead. I could not believe my eyes. We buried her in a tomb, and later when she awoke, she found Romeo dead by her side and had drinking a poison because he thought she was dead. And then she killed herself because she could not bear to live without Romeo and his love.
That is a very touching story, ma'am. Thank you. Is there anyone else that you could tell me of that would know possibly any other detail?
Well, I heard of a man named Shakespeare whose fingerprints were all over the scene. There's no one that could tell you more.
Thank you. With that, we will track down the Shakespeare man and truly get to the bottom of this awful tragedy. Hello, everyone. This is breaking news. Mr. Shakespeare has just recently been arrested, and the sheriff allowed us to get this video footage of his interrogation. This tells the entire story. Enjoy. Mr. Shakespeare, Can you tell me how you made these two teenagers fall in love and kill themselves, and why you did it? What were your motives behind it, sir? Mr. Sheriff, I was only trying to correct the rift between the two great families of Italy. I just inspired love and made a love story that no one will ever forget. But if you see now, both families, the Capulets and the Montagues, are friends now. They have reconciled their issues over the death of their two children. This means that the feud is settled, and I did nothing wrong by persuading Romeo to meet Juliet. So, in my eyes, I am not guilty, and I was just organizing a way to settle conflict. But you did exactly that, sir. You were the cause of these children's death. I move to charge you with 2 accounts of murder, or at the very least, intent to murder. We are done here. Well, as you saw, that happened last week, and since then, Mr. Shakespeare has been imprisoned and has been sentenced to life behind bars. Justice has been served. I have told that he plans to take up writing in his prison time, and that he will start by making a tragedy out of this Romeo and Juliet plan that he orchestrated, and he hopes to sell a few copies of it. But from what I've done digging, it looks like he was born in England back in the day. He married Anne Hathaway, and then he started writing short stories and plays, but it wasn't until he moved to Italy that his focus just became more tragic than humor. With these crimes and stories he formulated, he will go down in history as a great but terrible architect of unmatched stories. Thank you. This has been Jeffrey Jones, getting to the bottom of yet another case. See you later.